Alright. It started. Oh, great. Hold up. Messed up the resolution again. Thought I fixed that already. Alright. Doing some Spearmaster runs. Not actual, like, full speedrun attempts. Just like, I won't reset if I die or whatever, but I just want to get an idea of what the route feels like, because Spearmaster might be one of the characters I actually am interested in speedrunning. Whoops. Already messing up. Already been flips. I think it's better to use spears to throw boost here instead of jumping into the water and then using it to climb up. So Spearmaster is very, very interesting for speedrun. Messed that up. Because for the main, I'm doing the main ending, by the way. I'm not ascending. So this will include spoilers for the Spearmaster's campaign. But you have to, part of the campaign is to bring one specific item across the whole map multiple times. And I think the easiest way to go about that is to make use of passages. You get the pearl at 5 pebbles. And you have to bring it to Moon and then up to Sky Islands. So I think it'd be best to get the pearl from 5 pebbles, leave, the pearl there, and then travel over to Moon, and then use passages to pick up the pearl. Great. Not exactly how to do the start of this run. So you need to get some food, but it's quite difficult for the Spearmaster. You can't eat bat flies. You can't eat any fruit, and you only get 1 food from drop wigs, which there's plenty of in outskirts. Oops, I wanted to get the flower. I don't even know if... Oh. Hello. I think you just run after me. That's enough. Right now, I just need to get enough karma to get up to industrial. And well, I have enough food, so I might as well just shelter immediately again. I don't know if karma caching will be allowed. That's one of the biggest changes to the run, if karma caching is allowed or not. because with it you can get a ton of passages, which would make bringing the pearl around a lot easier. Just by karma caching, you can get the survivor, the martyr, and the saint. Which means that if you go to the moon, you can use the passage to go back to grab the pearl, another passage to bring the pearl to the moon, and then another passage to get the moon back up to Chimney, where you can continue to the Sky Islands. I think that'd be the easiest way to deal with the pearl, because just bringing it with you makes it significantly harder to deal with like any creature that you come across, which is most commonly leap lizards. There's a ton of them up the wall, like, well, just across the whole exterior and the precipice. There's just a lot of leap lizards. I think I am going to try to get a vulture mask in Chimney Canopy. I think that would be very helpful, because in the one room in Chimney Canopy before the wall, there's a big open area that you can lure vultures into. You can generate a ton of spears to easily take care of them, and you'll get a free mask out of it, so that'll make getting up the wall a lot easier. That's a really nice bowl plant to get, or popcorn plant. I've also been getting pretty lucky with the drop wigs. There's a lot of them just in the way that are easy to get for food. Also, since it's pretty hard to get food, ideally you would actually, since I'm already at max food, I don't really need to worry about making new spears every time. Ah, I missed that. Oh. Just want to make it easier for me. Another passage that might be easy to get is Scholar, although I don't know if the you're the pearl that you get from Pebbles, I don't know if that counts as a... Oh, great. That's a problem. Don't do this in your actual runs. And I'd probably reset if I did this, but for now, come on. It's quite a long run. So one death might not be that big of a problem for these first few attempts. You can see there's just leap lizards absolutely everywhere. Despite being the master of spears, it's not actually all that easy to deal with all of them. There's even more lizards up here. A big part of the difficulty of this run is just all of the creatures you have to deal with. Spearmaster is hard. It's like, I definitely think that their campaign is one of the hardest. If you don't use passages, having to carry the pearl around makes it significantly more difficult. And also they don't have any particularly strong movement abilities. Like, you can use spears to climb up walls, and that's pretty much all you have. Compared to the Saint, the Rivulet, and Artificer, they have crazy movement abilities. And even the Gourmand has some unique ones, but Spearmaster is pretty much the most normal. Surely the Sword Lizard is too injured to fight. Kind of made it stay where I don't want it to be. Red Lizards pretty much always instantly kill you, even if they're injured. A little close. If I could get the mask right here, make this a lot easier. Oh great, a regular vulture. Actually more dangerous right now. Okay, they're both dead, I think, but I don't know how I'm gonna get this mask. There we go. Getting one there is nice. I don't have to worry about vultures later. Or lizards at all. Not at all. They're still the cooldown. They're only scared for some amount of time, and then they realize that you're not a vulture and they try to get you. Hopefully it's enough time to at least get through the one long room in the wall. That's probably the most difficult part of the run. Going up there and then back down. I think it might actually be faster to go through 5 pebbles. Since unfortunate development is not as nearly as unfortunate, it should be easier to navigate, right? And that's a pretty fast route down to at least the middle of the underhang, but from that point, oh right, that's annoying. But it's really hard to get into 5 pebbles because he immediately pushes you out of the room. Yeah, so I don't know if it's possible. Where can I read about the speedrun rules? So far there aren't any rules. This isn't an official run, or it's not even really an official attempt. I'm just practicing the route that I've come up with. Yeah, he pushes you out immediately. I don't need to worry about food this cycle actually, since there's a popcorn plant up by the wall. Oh, spiders that you have to worry about. Well, okay, I have a handful of remix options on that may or may not be allowed. I have vanilla exploits on, which means I could karma cache if I wanted to. And I also have the ability to pull spears out of walls, which the Spearmaster isn't normally able to do. Excuse me. I also have things like fast shelter openings on. So we haven't really decided on a set of rules that you need to follow. There's way more of them now with the remix options, so That'll take a while to figure out. I've seen so far that runs will be officially, you'll be allowed to submit runs 1 month after the release of Downpour. But I've heard some discussion that that might have to be extended. But runs like this one are pretty useful for that. If you get a better idea of what these... Oh great, there's a king vulture. If we get a better idea of what these runs are actually like. I missed both of those. If you have a good idea of what the speedruns are actually like, we can have an easier time deciding on what the rules should be. I've noticed that cycle length has not really been a problem. Most of the slugouts have really long cycles except for the rivulet. This cycle is very, very long. And I don't have any options that modify the length of cycles at all. I'm going to stay in the shelter for a few reasons. One is that I'd like to return here with passages. It's the fastest way to get back to Sky Islands. And also, the wall is very hard and I might die. And while it may be easier to try to get all the way up here in one cycle, maybe to take advantage of the rain, I don't want to risk that. Maybe you do that for actual runs. I also don't have to worry about food this cycle. Just another popcorn plant. Spearmasters is one of the few new slug clats that doesn't have some way to skip this area without spears. Although, it is still easier for you since you can just make the spears. River can just backflip up here. Artificer can double jump up here, and Saint can just grapple up here. Now it's about the time that some of those leaf lizards might come back up to try to get me. Or a vulture. They show up here sometimes too. You also probably wouldn't have to worry about food since there's so many lizards in this room that would be scared of your mask. I feel like getting a mask might be really important. Because in the pebbles percent runs that I used to do, I didn't bother with trying to get a mask. Probably because survivor spawns are much easier, not having to deal with leaf lizards. You can also get food fairly easily from these pole plants. Persistence is an extra one up here, exclusive to the Spearmaster, but there's also scavengers. That's the next thing I'm worried about. A lot of scavengers. They just kind of get in the way, and they always have a chance of just killing you randomly. Luckily, you always can give them spears. Seem to be neutral with you, maybe. Of course, it depends on the individual scavenger. There's another thing that I found very useful is to take advantage of these overseers. Scavengers like overseer eyes, not as much as pearls, but they still do like them fairly much. I think like 7 points, while pearls are 10 points. Here's that pole plant. And that guy. Oh, he's interested in something else. These runs are going to be far from optimal for a long time, I think. If you actually ever want to complete a run, it's best to sometimes just have patience and just wait out some creature encounters. Great. It's funny because that pole plant is only here for the Spearmaster. You're like, oh, a new pull here. You grab onto it even though it's never been there before. I'm still going to be carrying on to both the mask and this overseer eye just for scavengers. And I want the mask for going back down the wall, but I probably won't want it for underhang. Well, I might want it for underhang. Although carrying around this overseer eye does slow you down because you can't throw boosts. See? He's trying to stab me, but not after giving him this thing. If there's some easy way to get a passage, like right now, it may be worth it to do passage back down to the wall, to the bottom of the wall. I don't know how passages are gonna work for these runs. I've also I haven't seen that many runs that make use of passages. Maybe they use them in like 100% runs. Because there's the regular pebbles percent run, it's just too short to get a passage. And you pretty much teleport back after getting to pebbles anyway. The hunter can't even use passages. You can passage with a pearl. It's a remix option. The one that lets you passage with key items, even if you're not holding them in your stomach. And once again, that depends on if that remix option will be allowed. I kind of want to see if I can get into pebbles, because that would be faster. Ah, I almost made it. That may be possible if you like do a backflip and then throw upwards, just to give yourself enough speed. But you'd have to be really careful about the timing. And if you mess it up, then you have to restart the run, because you can't get back into that room without him killing you. Standard remix? Yeah, the options that are on by default. That might be the case, but some of the options are really nice for getting rid of some annoying RNG elements. The shelter failure, for example. When you start a cycle early and it's raining, that can totally mess up a run, and it's just RNG whether that happens or not. But that's kind of like one of the big parts of the Rivulet's campaign, so will that option still be off for them? Because they kind of need the long cycles sometimes. I don't know. It's a lot to figure out. But right now I'm fine with just doing runs with whatever options I like. Probably would have been better to wait on hitting that popcorn plant. Okay, my strategy is to leave this pearl here. I'll passage and come back for it later. There's already a lot of categories added from this DLC, considering all the new slug cats with their own ending, plus the regular Ascension ending. And then on top of that, adding different remix options, that's a lot. It's a lot of things. A lot of categories. Oops. Yeah, each category would have like 3 people running it. Unless you want to do like one attempt in every category. Just to fill it out. But I'd rather practice one consistent set of rules instead of hopping between a bunch of different ones. Oh, this is the guy who took the pearl. Hey man, don't hurt me. I don't know if there's a good way to get this echo right here. Oops. I actually do care about food right now. But luckily there's plenty of lizards. Or a vulture. I always messed up there. Hold up, I gotta get the mask back. Now there's this vulture. Yeah, that's decent for food. What's this vulture doing? Playing with its food. If there would be different categories for remix mode stuff, I would imagine that there's just going to be one rule set that we agree upon, and then one that's like more limiting. Or like, well, there may be like for like any percent categories, for example, it's supposed to be like you can just do whatever you can do to make the run faster, include that. So if there's an any percent category, that might be just like all of the remix options that make it easier if they make the run faster. And then there may be a category where we like have a set of like rules that we agree on. But that means for every single category of all the different endings, for all the different subcats, there would be an extra 2 categories of based on your remix options. These drop wigs here might be a problem. There's an easy way to deal with them if they drop something on the floor like this. Just take the item and they'll drop down. So this is where I no longer have experience with the run. I've practiced up to this point. This is where I stopped. You can tell because this is where the thumbnail is. Luckily you can carry this mask with the... Oh great. Didn't mean to fall there. So my plan for this part of the run is to go through Underhang, which should be a lot easier with this mask, considering that it's mostly leaf lizards that are you're concerned about instead of DLLs. So this mask should help with that if I can just run through the whole region and then through Precipice. And hopefully this is enough time to get the Survivor passage and maybe the Outlaw. I don't know, I haven't really looked at the passages I've been getting. Also, there's a lot of optimization to do here with this grapple worm movement. Just like for the entire Saints. Oh, never mind. You know, I said that leaf lizards would be the problem. It's actually the Mirror's vultures. I forgot about them. They're very, very agile. They're very good at catching you even if you're moving around a lot. Yeah, just spam jump. You do have to get used to it. Do I just go? Yeah, Saint's movement is a lot different than just regular grapple worms. You have more more mobility, more options. You can jump out of it, you can retract it up and down. And you can also, like, move around just a lot more. You're faster with it. New worst enemy in the game. They're very cool conceptually, and their animations, but actually dealing with them is very difficult since they don't have the wind-up like regular vultures do. There's always a sound cue for when a vulture is about to attack you, and that's when you need to know to dodge or to throw something. But for the Miros vultures, you never know when they're just going to... when they're just gonna swoop by and instantly kill you. And I think it's always an instant kill. So I am not familiar with this room very well. It's probably a faster way to go through it. There could be 3 in 1 room, yeah, sometimes they pile up. But even just one of them is very hard to deal with. But here's another. Speaking of. Kind of strange to imagine that Daddy Longlegs killed all of the vultures here by the time you get to the other. The hunter, I imagine, probably doesn't have Miros vultures. The last time I played the Spearmaster, I made the mistake of going through garbage wastes. So just going through, well, Underhang isn't really that much better, but probably this route as a whole is a lot easier. And I'll be skipping most of it with passages. Okay, this is a bit of a predicament. Funny how the vultures leave from the bottom of the screen instead of the top like usual. But I guess that makes sense. Spiders, however, I'm actually concerned about. They don't care about the mask. I do have to worry about food. I think he could just sneak by. Although there is a few popcorn plants I'm familiar with in Precipice. Oh, and these spiders. Yep, they're gonna be a problem. Ah, yes, they are indeed a problem, and I didn't stay in a shelter that whole time. Unless I'm dropped for some reason, but spiders usually don't drop you. There's a lot of them in this area, it seems like. I mean, spiders drop you all the time. I was definitely planning on that. Saved by another spider. But I'm still gonna have to get through this room. That was faster though. Yeah, one problem with this setup that I'm doing right now is that I can't hold the spear at the same time, despite being the Spearmaster. I am going to stay in this shelter though. Well, yeah, this will be faster. Part of the master plan. Yep, that's part of the route. get grabbed by spider for RNG manipulation. It makes vultures less likely to show up in precipice. I don't think the in-game timer will be used. Because usually the timing involves menuing, like when you're staying in shelters or exiting out of the game, or like karma caching. Who knows if karma caching will be allowed. But this gives you a different time than if you were to just start a timer when you start the run. Although I kind of would like if this timer was allowed. It lets you like take breaks when you're like in the middle of a run. If there were enough popcorn plants along this route, you might actually be able to get the monk too. Also, I've never used a grapple worm in this area, but it might actually make movement a lot easier. Considering that there's a lot of open areas for this. That was kind of unnecessary. I have already looked at Moon, and I think I have a route for that planned out. There's a white lizard there I didn't even see. Yeah, I think a mask is going to be necessary for this run. Well, not necessary, but very encouraged. Oh, this jump. And King Vulture. Gonna lose interest. This might also be a part of the run, just waiting for vultures to leave. Goodness, these jumps. It'd be possible with throw boosting, but don't have anything to throw. I don't have the room to. Oh, that works out. I think these are very much designed for you to make use of spears for throw boosting. Whoops. I can use grapple worm here. Hello. Oh, dropwigs. Build. Dropwigs don't care. Forgot about that, so make sure you keep an eye out for dropwigs. Yeah, it took me down with him. There is a karma gates before Moon. That will be a problem. You need max karma. So hopefully I can get that karma flower back before dying again. So you really need to watch out for king vultures and for dropwigs along the precipice. You still can't grapple onto gates for some reason. Oh, and scavengers, but my reputation might be a little bit higher for them. That other pipe doesn't really lead anywhere important. Being able to do movement like that makes it seem like holding onto a grapple worm will be useful in this area. It's either grapple worm for movement like that, or spear for defending yourself against like droplegs, or for throw boosts, because you can still make some of the jumps with throw boosting if you don't have a grapple worm, or doing that. Although, yes, you can also do that. Go around the other side. Vulture doesn't know I'm here yet. Goodness, I almost fell all the way down. Because there's some blocks there that are a little hard to see. That was a little close. Ooh, Karma Flower. I would really like to get that. It was hidden behind the foreground. Okay, Vulture left. Nope, just kidding. This is a remix of the Shoreline Threat theme. That was very fast. That's usually they don't fire that quickly. No wind up time, I guess. I don't really know how to deal with king vultures in these areas other than just waiting them out. It takes a long time. With a regular vulture, the moment you hit them like twice with the spear, they just run away. King vultures take a few more spears than that. Also, this is why this is a practice attempt and not actually doing runs, because otherwise I would have just reset, probably. Scavenger is also a problem. I don't even think that lizard saw me. It might turn out that holding onto a grapple worm isn't actually a good strategy here. Maybe if I die again, I'll try an attempt without a grapple worm, but also you can do this. So, you know. Okay. You know what? That might actually be a decent strategy. Vultures would have a harder time getting to you if you're down there. Hello, lizard. Please get out of the way. Yeah, I told you to get out of the way. I may not have been the vulture, but there was a vulture there. Also, that drop wig. Definitely going to catch something. Okay, Karma Flower's gotten required. You have to go up here. It's actually faster to go around that way. Probably. So this area is where you might be worried about drop wigs again. Timer ran out. Luckily, I'm faster than that lizard. But it's still chasing after me. Also, there's the drop wig. Not a good place for it. This is a situation. What do I do about this? Not gonna drop on its own unless the rain starts. There's not really enough room to slide past it. Just hanging out. Tried to use this grapple arm as a distraction. Just kind of fell down. Oh, worked. Oh, low gravity. But the low gravity here doesn't really have a tell. There's no sound effect. This is the part of the one where I try to remember where to go. The route that I'm roughly going in is to the shelter, which is to the right, up, left, up, right. For quite a while. Down, left, down, and then that's moon. So here's the shelter. I'm definitely staying in. I need Survivor anyway. But it might have been a good idea to get some more food before coming in here. I also no longer need this vulture mask. Okay, so that's just now getting the survivor. That might make getting further passages possible. Although I don't know what else I can get just within this region. That does not go anywhere. I don't know if eating neurons gives you hunter or monk. It might not count as either. I don't think they count against Saint. That might be the next one to get, but I don't think I'm gonna spend 5 cycles in here. Oh, great. Okay. I should have... Gives you what? Hunter or the monk for eating neurons. Oh, great. I missed both of those throws. Okay. Okay. I'm not familiar with this area. So why I'm doing these attempts. Right into that one. Probably better to try to get through there when the gravity is on. Okay, what is the... That's kind of strange. There's also... Hold up, there's a secret. This isn't secret. Is this where I wanted to go? This may be. Okay, this might be just me wandering around this region for a while. Hanging out. Oh, come on. I don't know if it's... I don't really know how to get through this room. I can't get a spear into that wall. There we go. Oh, that's kind of close. Okay, that's probably the best way to do it. Just wait for the gravity to turn off. This is probably one of my favorite rooms in this whole region. Just this kind of, oh, I got the sphere back. The big open kind of void. This is the way that I wanted to go. This room is a bit of a maze, though. Also, I probably should have grabbed a neuron at some point. I'm not in the dark. There was that room earlier with some neurons sitting around. Okay, this is where I forget where to go. Maybe down. Up Moon's wall by going down like from shoreline. That is a route that I wanted to avoid. So it means that after... Okay, I wish I had my map. Is this the right way? If the mask gets free, yeah, it's just a longer distance. Oh, here's all of the food that I need. Just kidding, let me miss every single neuron here. Okay, somehow I didn't get any of that. From the wall, you'd have to go down the chimney to industrial, then to like shaded. Okay, this is definitely the wrong way. And then from shaded to shoreline, or I guess like water, whatever it's called. You mad at me? Cause I ate some neurons. I'm actually completely lost. Hello? Gravity. Why did I fall so fast? I don't think this is the right way. I have no idea what the right way is. Good speedrun. I'm doing all of my speedrun attempts on a different save file. But that also means that I don't keep my map data from from those runs, because I have quite extensively mapped out this region on that other save file. I know that there's this path over here. That's a dead end. I think I know where I am. You do that backwards. Oh, I remember this is just a dead end with a shelter. I'm going to leave this run for a second. I don't have enough food, even after all those neurons. I need a better idea of the map. And that's if the map data isn't messed up. Okay, this is the gate where I enter from. You can get to this big room through both paths. Except this is the one with all the zappers. But it seems like a much shorter path up here. This is where I'm trying to get to. This is all the way around the outside. I don't think there's a way to get to here. Although it doesn't seem like I've explored this part of the map. Okay, I have a better idea of this. What do you mean the wall? The looks of the moon wall or the 5 pebbles wall? From 5 pebbles, I took the route of going underhang, precipice, over to this gate, right? The moon wall, don't you get to there from shoreline? Where you would normally get to moon for the other slug cats? Yes, you entered from here. Like up this way? think that's a different region. Because this is the other wall, right? So is there a way? You're saying that there's a way to go. Okay, where even is this? This is through here. So you're saying that there's some way to go from this gate up to this area. That might be too much of a detour. The other way is to continue from where I was, going far over here up into this. So I know that there's actually another area around here. I've not explored this room fully because it goes around the main chamber, which is probably what this connects to, right? From there you can go to here. You have to go all the way back around. I feel like that way might still be slower. I guess I'll have to experiment. See if I can. Yeah, okay. I'm going to try my path again with a better idea of where to go. A little close. This room is a shorter path up to that area, but it's also the riskier path. Nope, you can't do that. I don't know if there's something on the over here. That doesn't look like you can just grab onto this pole. Which brings you here. Also, doing this strategy is exclusive to the only if you have that one remix option on. No. There's surely a better way to do that. Maybe by going over here first. Just going directly up and then to the right. Yes, this room. I imagine that this room goes up to that wall area. I still feel like that might be a slower route, though. You have to go all the way around through the wall, which I imagine is also... there might be lizards there. I don't really remember it that well. Need to figure out a better way to get through this room. Well, that was alright. Also gonna need to find a good way to get food. There's maybe some room with a lot of neurons in it. But without one of the inspector guys, so they get mad if you take the neurons. Although it wasn't really that bad dealing with that one earlier. Okay, hold up. I'll just wait for the gravity to switch here. Wait, did that go? I think this is the right way, actually. Yep, this is the room. I thought that was a daddy long legs for a second. Decent amount of neurons in this room. Oh, loud song warning. Hold up. There's No reason to talk to me right now. I should have just stayed in that shelter. So here's another problem with the routes. Figuring out where to get passages. My plan was to just... I forgot about this, but I just want to stay in this shelter. Passage back to Pebbles to pick up the pearl, and then passage back here, and then passage back again. So I need to have 3 passages by the time I get here, if I want to do that. Right now I only have 1 from the survivor. I can get 2 more if I just karma cash. I don't need another food piff, but I would get the Saint and the Martyr. So this, I think this strategy works if you can karma cash, if that's going to be allowed. Vanilla exploits is not on by default. Also, you can't starve when there's 0 gravity. Let's see if this works. Also, it seems like neurons just kind of show up in this room. Should make this easier because they count as food. I thought you might be able to starve and it would just count them as food automatically. They let you starve, but I don't know if that'll be possible. Also, it'd be much faster to come in here with enough food already, so you don't need to eat the neurons every time. Saint, Monk, and the Martyr. Okay. The hardest part, just hitting them with the spears. I'm just gonna get enough food. From this room, it'll be easier. I think it does kind of make sense to allow vanilla exploits though, right? The purpose of that option is to kind of be the, like, for speedruns, right? that's enough food. Actually, almost got too much, or else I wouldn't have been able to starve. Like, if you need to get karma, and you're down a few levels, it's kind of just like annoying, right? To have to leave your shelter, grab like a few pieces of food, come back, sleep, and then repeat that like 3 times. So even if it's just to make the run a little bit more convenient, you know, we might still just want to have that. But the run is pretty much over. Go to Moon with the Pearl. Passes back and forth a few times, and then go to Sky Islands, and that's it. And with all the deaths and like misrouting and you know all that stuff, I could probably might be a sub-hour run. Oh yeah, exit out. You are able to starve if you're touching the ground, but in 0G you just kind of float away eventually. What happens if you visit Moon before Pebbles? Moon just tells you that there's a pearl inside you, or some sort of data storage device inside of you, and that you should probably bring it to Pebbles. You also get the Mark of Communication, which you don't normally have, so when you do go to Pebbles, you get to hear what he has to say about the pearl. That's enough passages. Although I'm not able to use them yet. The pearl... Well, okay. So I think the same exact event happens at Pebbles. Whether you go there first with the... without the Mark of Communication. So pretty much exactly the same event happens, except it's a bit slower since you need time to read the dialogue. And I don't remember exactly what he says, but it's something along the lines of just reading the pearl out loud. And the pearl is like... I think it's telling him that one of the other iterators told everyone that Pebbles got the rot. And he's mad that he doesn't need help. He's dealing with this on his own. He doesn't want the iterators trying to message them, because the reason 7 Red Suns sent the Spearmaster is because 5 Pebbles wasn't accepting any messages, any communication. So the only option they had was to send a Slugcat as a messenger to bring the pearl to him. And he doesn't like that they're trying to use that to communicate still, so he gets mad. It'd be nice if there was a popcorn plant. And there is. Enough cycles have passed for it to rerun. Now I'm just gonna go straight back to Moon. But with this pearl. This is also only possible with a specific remix option, although I think that one is enabled by default if you have the remix preset. And another passage just in case. It might be a lot faster to try to get the outlaw. I would not like to start in that shelter. The outlaw might be a lot faster. If you get the survivor earlier, I don't know if that would be possible. Hello? Okay, thought the game might have broken. If you get the survivor earlier, then all you need is one cycle of killing a ton of creatures, and that gets you the outlaw. Although that's only 2 passages, and you need 3 total, so you still need to get another one somewhere else. I didn't mean to grab onto that. Oh, hold up. I wonder something here. You know how the first time you meet Pebbles in a save file, there's this whole sequence similar to what's going on right now, where like text shows up, the big images show up, and then it gives you the mark of communication. But every other time that you meet Pebbles on that save file, that whole sequence is skipped, right? It just gives you the mark of communication and starts the dialogue. I have not yet met Moon on this save file, and so I'm seeing this cutscene, or this whole sequence. I wonder if it works similar to that, to Pebbles, where if I were to do the run again, oh, thank you. If I were to do the run again, would this be skipped? I'm not going to do it, but I wonder what happens if you throw a spear at Moon. If you throw a spear at Pebbles, he just kills you instantly. But, I don't know, it kind of seems like Moon wouldn't do that. Unless you did it multiple times, maybe. Hello there. One of the icons of all the creatures. Yeah, I imagine that it's because of the... It's probably just because of 5 pebbles. Like, the other iterators say that they've noticed, that they've seen the daddy long legs moving around. So either Moon has sent an overseer over to see them, or the rot is already something that the iterators are aware of that can happen. Oh, are you aware of what happens to the hunter if you don't ascend in a run? Wait, I need that pearl. Yes. Yeah. So the hunter was created by no significant harassment, right? I'm pretty sure that the rot is just some kind of mutated version of some of like the biological components of an iterator. Like these like neuron looking things that you can grab onto. Not the ones flying around, but the long one, like rope like ones. Or maybe there's another one of them. There's another type of creature. I think there's one in this room. Oh, also these little like sphere things. This thing right here. They kind of look like the DLLs. They have a little mark on them. Also this thing right here. This thing I'm grabbing onto. I feel like one of those things has some kind of like mutated form that turns it into a daddy long leg, or one of those types of creatures. Or maybe this thing, the inspector. It could be a mutated version of this. So no significant harassment when making the, or those things, those little like blue tendril things up in that cage looking thing above me. That kind of looks like the proto long legs. I still don't exactly understand why that happens to the hunter, though. Like, I think the explanation that people usually have is that... Oh, I'm way over here. Is that no significant harassment. Wait, this is the shelter. Yes. Wanted to send a messenger, or not a messenger, name every biological component of an array. Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to name all the possibilities. Does this have the message? Yes, it does. was I just saying? Oh yeah, okay, the hunter longlegs showing up, I think it tells us that the rot or the disease that the hunter has is definitely rot related. I think we can know that for certain. Whether the hunter's fate is turning into that thing or not, or ascending, you know, we don't know if that happens or not. Moon just kind of says that the hunter was sick, and then he left to the west. So I think that's kind of open to interpretation, whether the hunter ascended or not. And seeing the hunter longlegs in your save file just tells you like that the hunter had that problem, not that that's exactly what happened. Because, you know, you don't have to bring the neuron, the green neuron from hunter. You don't need to bring that to Moon in order for Moon to be alive in future timelines. That's the case for any of the Slick Cat's main quests. I didn't mean to throw that. You know, it's technically canon in the timeline, since the other Slick Cats will always see those events as happen, as they are supposed to happen, regardless of if you actually do it. Sometimes it's a bit hard to slide correctly on when there's ends on the floor. This is the part of the run where you worry about vultures. Well, actually that's a lot of the run. All of the precipice, parts of the wall. Or scavengers. I didn't really expect to see scavengers down here. Okay, that's the end of the run. Timer stopped. Fun fact, I'm actually viewing the live stream chat on my phone, and it is at 3% right now. So just barely had enough to finish the stream. I'm probably gonna end the stream because I finished the run that I wanted to do. Maybe I'll talk about a bit about this route. I feel like it might be possible to do a sub-hour Spearmaster run. If a variety of remix options are allowed. Calculated as always. I heard someone say that this ending wasn't particularly important. But I think that this ending is what gets no significant harassment to send the hunter to save Moon. But another strange thing about these endings, for all of them, is that they're kind of pointless. Like helping out Moon is nice for a while, and then the Saint, you know, and then the Saint happens, and it didn't really amount to anything in the end. And Moon isn't even really able to recover fully. I still don't think that her connection with the rest of the superstructure is there. She mentions that the umbilical is severed. She can't directly connect with the rest of the structures, so she's not really any better off after the rivulets story, other than connections with the overseers. But it's not like Moon is recovered and she solves the great problem. Nothing like that happens. And it's not like well, it's kind of not really like the iterators do anything. Except maybe Sliver of Straw. It's nice that they put Moon down at the ending here. Did you see the score I get? Hey, Nomad. I guess does it count as sleeping in a shelter when you get this ending? Oh, another strange thing, it says the time is different here. 1 hour, 5 minutes. Does that time not count the time you spent on cycles where you die? We don't know if Sliverstraw made the Saint, right? Yeah, it's my theory that the Saint is a creation of by Sliverstraw. So I saw someone else had a theory a game theory, that the Saint was specifically designed, a purpose organism, to be perfect for ascending. Like like they can't throw a spear, so that's no violence. Their food requirements are like the lowest of any slug cat, so someone suggested that they're starving themselves on purpose, which is what the ancients did to try to ascend before they discovered the void fluid. I did see H2's video. Hitwo, whatever they're... Oh, thanks for the notification. Well, actually, their explanation of the Saint didn't exactly make sense either. Like, the Saint uses their ability on a Void Worm, which lets them escape Ascension, which gives them the ability to ascend things. Like, you need the ability to ascend things in order to get the ability to ascend things. That didn't really make sense. At least their explanation of it. Will not use passages for Spearmasters. I hope they... Well, the longer speedrun is, the more opportunities for mistakes there are. So an hour, and a run that's an hour long is already kind of painful. And I died a whole lot. Like along the precipice. Defeats the point of bringing the pearl, if you're not going to bring it. The thing is that bringing the pearl is my least favorite part of the Spearmaster's whole campaign. I did not enjoy having to carry the pearl around because my strategy involved the grapple worm and a vulture mask. You would not be able to carry the pearl with those unless you don't want to go the underhang route and you took the other route along like from like shoreline up there. That's a whole pain to go through though. Like it seems like the precipice is the only way to go, and in that case you'd have to either not carry a vulture mask or not carry a grapple worm, both of which sound very painful considering the number of leaf lizards. But also getting these passages is kind of annoying. Like I just ended up karma caching for them all, which I don't know if that would be allowed, but there's probably still a good way to get passages. You might be able to get. I don't know if the Spearmaster's Pearl counts for the Scholar, because if it does, then you would be able to get the Scholar passage. There's a pearl somewhere in the memory conflux of Moon. There's the pearl at the top of the wall, plus the pearl from the Spearmaster. That's enough to get the Scholar, right? Then you could get another achievement either from the Saint if you don't hurt anything on your whole path over to Moon, or the Outlaw if you kill everything on your way to the Moon. To Moon. Either of those is a way to get the. You could also try to get Dragon Slayer. I think you can get Dragon Slayer progress before you get Survivor, right? So maybe if you killed an extra green lizard down in Outskirts, and then like something else, you'd have to get another lizard type. Nomad 2. Can you get Nomad progress before Survivor? So I'm pretty sure I would have gotten that, right? You can sleep in Outskirts, an industrial chimney, and then the wall, right? That's enough for Nomad. Yeah, I only have two pips in Nomad, probably because it looks like the last one I got was from Sky Islands. So I don't think that made any progress. But you might be able to get it if you get the Survivor earlier, because you get one from Pebbles, one from the wall, one from. Well, actually, I don't know if twice in the wall, top and bottom yet. Because I think underhang also counts. Like the wall, underhang, and the leg also back up. This is perfect timing. I mean, I'm gonna end the stream in a second, so it doesn't matter if the internet dies again. Yeah, but you still might be able to get Nomad if you just sleep once at the bottom of the wall. I also considered the possibility of the Chieftain, because you can generate infinite spears, right? So I don't know if that would work though. I don't know if they count for reputation. A grapple worm into Pebbles chamber. What would that do? Of getting into Pebbles? I also I would like to consider the possibility of doing that. Because I made it most of the way up to that pipe, right? So maybe with a backflip to give you more speed, or maybe with like an up throw, you could get into Pebbles, which would let you go all the way down to the to underhang. I don't know if that's much of a shortcut. It would let you skip the wall and the left side of underhang. Maybe. Anyway, I think this might actually be one of the categories I speedrun. Depending on the rules, we're gonna have to figure that out. But I do like this route. There's a tool that lets you save and load save files. Oh, so I could attempt the pebbles. Getting up into pebbles through that, maybe. Also consider the possibility. Why'd I say that? This run was very unoptimal. I kind of wandered around in Moon for a long time, and I waited for vultures to pass a lot of the time. All right, see ya. I'm gonna end the stream right now. It's been 2 hours. I'm in the yeah. This is a good run though. I'll probably try it again. An actual attempt next time.